Whatever age you are, enjoying childhood years, teenage years or advancing years, football fans' love affair with the FA Cup goes on and on. The skyline in the Wembley area may change dramatically of late, but some things will always remain the same. There's a favourite, it's Manchester City, and an outsider, Wigan Athletic, who are the underdogs, hoping to pull off the first real shock result in an FA Cup final for some would say over 30 years. And ESPN's cup final coverage will be commercial free from when the teams walk out onto the pitch until after the trophy has been presented. What was a steady stream of early arrivals is already turning into a flood of fans. M6 was busy from very early on this morning. Hopes and dreams intact for these supporters. Who knows what will unfold in the hours to come. Well, there won't be an empty seat in the house just after 5 o'clock. Delighted to say the ESPN lineup is just about settled. Craig Burley, just as the rain arrived, Craig arrived with the umbrellas. Paul Jewell's getting a little bit wet. The man that led Wigan into the Premier League, into the League Cup final, alongside Kevin Keegan and John Barnes. OK, Paul, can you just give us an insight into the character and the personality of Wigan Athletic Football Club?
I think it's changing, to be honest, right? I think when it was always about... First time you mentioned Wigan and people said Wigan pies, it was always mentioned. Now it's, I think it's in fairness to Roberto, he's changed a lot of the culture at Wigan, and it's more of a sexy club, I guess, than it ever was. You know, it's come a long way in a short space of time, and it is a club that your smaller clubs can aspire to. It was always a working class football club. It still is a working class football club, but it's doing it. In fairness to Roberto, he's changing the image of it a little bit, and hopefully, you know, days like today and the Premier League retention will only add to that.
The expectancy is all on Manchester City, Kevin.
It is. You know, Wigan can come here. No one. I mean, even the most optimistic Wigan fan really thinks they've got a lot of chance if Man City bring their A game, but Wigan have upset people before. The Everton game in the round before the last was a prime example. So they don't come without a chance, but if Man City are on the game, it's going to be very difficult.
If Wigan won today, what level of shock would that be? Biggest shock in the FA Cup final for how many years would you say?
Probably since Everton beat Watford in 1984.
That's a big shock.
Yes, there have been a few shocks, but you know, they're two Premier League sides, and what you have to say about Wigan is on their day when they play well, because the front three particularly can cause problems. The problem they have is defensively, not only with the injuries, but the way they have been defending. They'll have to put in a good performance to get anything out of Man City today.
Isn't it supposed to be sunny on Cup final day, Craig?
It's supposed to be. As a young kid growing up, I always remember it being sunny. I played here, my first cup final was '94, and it was absolutely pouring down with rain that day. It was battering down, and then we got battered off Manchester United. So yeah, hopefully this is all going to blow over. It's come down in the last 10-15 minutes, and it's absolutely pouring down now. The skies are a bit grey there, but it won't put the players off.
Where would this stand on the shockometer if Wigan won for you?
I think massive, because City are so strong and they're finishing the season well. They're probably going to play their strongest team today. It's not lightning, is it? It's not lightning, but they're probably going to play their strongest team today. The injuries that Barnsley mentioned are going to be a problem. But that being said, the players have got in attacking positions. Coney, Maloney, good boys. They can do the damage.
OK, this isn't a shower, I can say at the moment. It's raining pretty heavily, but who cares? It absolutely doesn't matter. It's FA Cup final, and we're looking forward to it. This is only a fraction of the ESPN lineup, by the way. John Champion and Chris Waddle are going to commentate on the game. Over to Rebecca Lowe now with two more members of the team.
I don't think Wigan would be Wigan without Dave Whelan.
He's made all my dreams come true. Who knows where we'll be, maybe non-league.
He's a real asset to the club.
The man's just a saint in everybody's eyes.
He's a self-made man from Wigan, and we're proud of him.
What the chairman started back in '95 was building on a dream.
His heart's in Wigan. You can cut him in half and he bleeds blue.
He is Wigan.
Without Dave, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Football man.
Some people always say it's a rugby town and not a football town.
A man with a vision.
It's great to see a lot of the kids supporting Wigan now rather than City, United and Liverpool and Everton.
He knows what he wants and he'll make it work. And that's just part of a genius.
Everything he's done has been spectacular. I think Dave Whelan's brilliant, spot on.
Dave Whelan started this incredible journey.
Without him, we wouldn't be there.
One of the main icons in Wigan. We can't thank him enough, really.
To bring back the cup to Wigan would be fantastic, wouldn't it? It'd be brilliant.
It's impossible to put a value. He is Wigan.
Dave Whelan, best chairman ever.
Dave Whelan, you are truly loved by everybody in Wigan, and 18 years ago when you took over this club, did you ever think you'd have this chance today?
No, not really, but when I took the club over, I was asked what the ambition was, and I said then we're in the old 4th division. I said the ambition is one thing, Premier League, and the people laughed then, but we've been in it for 8 years and we've still got a great chance of staying in it this year. We're still fighting.
You're going to lead the team out alongside Roberto Martinez today, and I think I'm right in saying that when you lead them out, it won't be too far away from the spot where 53 years ago you broke your leg and it changed your life. Is that right?
Yes, it's very close to where we come out actually. Just I can see it from here. It's like it was a sad day, but a great day to play in a cup final. You can never get better days, but when you get suffer like I did with a broken leg, I always felt unfinished business in this stadium, and Roberto has insisted that I lead the boys out today. He says it will complete your business at Wembley, so I'm doing it.
And you feel, even coming out now a few minutes before kickoff, do you feel like that circle is about to be completed?
Well, I still vividly remember coming out 53 years ago from the far end, and you'll never forget a day like that. When you're playing a cup final, you never forget when you walk out at Wembley. And when I walk out with the boys today, I'm going to be so proud.
And what about the fans? Over 20,000 down here today. What do they mean to you? Because from that tribute, we know that you mean a lot to them.
Well, our fan base has grown and grown and grown. We started off, when I bought the club, we used to get gates of 2,000. We now fill the stadium from time to time. We've got usually over 20,000. We've 23,000 come down today, and no train back. That's a shame, that, because we would have brought another 8,000 to 9,000, but you can't get back tonight, and it's a shame actually. And all the people who've come down, I'd like to say to each and every one of you, thank you for showing your solid support to Wigan Athletic.
Now, Dave, when you take your seat, when you've led the team out and you go upstairs and you take your seat to watch your team play in the FA Cup final, I know the Premier League is so important to you, but what will the nerves be like? Will there be any nerves because you're the underdogs?
No, I don't. I've never, even when I played, I never suffered with nerves. And I don't suffer with nerves now. It's a great game, football. You're very lucky when you can play it. When you play, enjoy it, because you can only play for 10, 12, 13 years maximum. If you get injured like me, it's a very short career, so enjoy it. Everybody who plays football, enjoy it while you can.
Thanks, Dave. We wish you the best of luck and enjoy leading your team out.
Thank you very much.
Atmosphere inside Wembley Stadium is absolutely sensational today. And if this is David and Goliath, as Blue Moon sings out for the Manchester City fans, this is David and Goliath. Dave Whelan is the David. Goliath, Manchester City singing Blue Moon. Dave Whelan, Paul Jewell, is a man that you know very well. He sort of sums up the Wigan story in a way, doesn't it? If you name the stadium after someone, you know you've done something well.
Oh, yeah, when you're own, it's easy though, isn't it? when people say about certain football clubs are all about certain people, here's the reason why Wigan are where they are today.
For Wigan Athletic Football Club, this is a very special day. Can they do it?
Of course they can do it. It's 11 players against 11 players, and those Wigan players have to believe they can go out there and do a job against City.
Kevin, we've all been here a few times. The atmosphere today is terrific.
Yeah, we're right in front of the Man City fans, and I've had the pleasure of managing the club. They don't come any better than these.
But you're going for a Man City win, I would imagine.
Of course, yeah. I just think they've got that extra quality.
And Dave Whelan's contribution to Wigan Athletic?
Immense. I watched that cup final as a kid when he broke his leg, and what he has done, it's lovely when someone makes the money and takes it back to a town.
So if it's David and Goliath, Can David do it today?
Well, of course, Wigan can do it, but I think that Swansea defeat really hit them hard, so I expect Manchester City to win today.
Gentlemen, thank you. The signal, the kick-off in this year's FA Cup final is very close, is that it's just about time for Abide With Me, sung by the classical quartet Amore. You'll love them.
Now, in keeping with tradition, we will sing the FA Cup hymn, Abide With Me, the words to which you will see on the giant screen and the LED ribbon. We will be led this afternoon by the singing quartet Amore, who will be accompanied by members of the Royal Philharmonic Concert Orchestra, conducted and arranged by Cliff Masterson.
Set to go. All the best to Manchester City and Wigan Athletic. John Champion and Chris Waddle will guide us through this season's FA Cup final.
From the northwest of England to northwest London. A day when eager faces and rounded vowels abound as Mancunians and Lancastrians descend on the capital for one of the nation's favourite days. The trains may be tricky, the motorway's maddening, but the FA Cup final has always been about destiny as much as destination. It's always a journey worth making. Wigan Athletic, the 56th different club to appear in this worldwide showpiece. The prize about to be brought forward by Private Lewis Trelaw, MBE, representing the Army. Wigan part of this special day then for the very first time. And that allows the Latics owner, Dave Whelan, to complete some unfinished business dating back half a century. Last time he was on the Wembley pitch, he left on a stretcher. His leg shattered, his career ruined by a tackle during the 1960 final. He returns today as the ultimate self-made man whose benevolence to Wigan has allowed a town's dream to come true. Also escorting Wigan out, 40-year-old Joseph Kendrick. His inspirational fight against a rare genetic disorder has seen him adopted as mascot for the day. The FA Cup all about inequalities. Manchester City's owners worth billions thanks to oil. Wigan's chairman started his business empire by opening a toiletry stall on Wigan markets. The presentation party coming forward, the guest of honour today, Dave Clark, former captain of the England blind football team. The first appointment made by the FA as an ambassador to mark the organisation's 150th anniversary. He scored 128 goals in 144 international appearances. Alongside him, David Bernstein, the outgoing chairman of the Football Association and a former chairman of Manchester City. He was in the chair when they were here for the 1999 Division 2 playoff final against Gillingham. Also in line for presentation, Mark Collins, the chairman of the FA Challenge Cup Committee. And behind Vincent Kompany, Sandra Orr, the Budweiser Club Futures representative. A special word for Dave Whelan. The underdogs. Wigan Athletic, there is 4-year-old Joseph Kendrick, such an inspiration to so many people in the town of Wigan. Born by Palatix captain today, Oscar Boyce. Manchester City having emerged from the West dressing room, the base for the eventual winners in 5 of the 6 finals played at the new Wembley. Another bad omen for Wigan, I'm afraid, is that no team has ever won the cup wearing an all-black kit. And right on cue, the sun has appeared. The eyes of the world on northwest London.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wembley, please be outstanding to the national anthem led by Amore, who are accompanied by the band of the Grenadier Guards.
Officially, Manchester City have just over 31,000 supporters here, and Wigan a few above 21,000. City went through this drill 2 years ago prior to beating Stoke in the final. Wigan following in the well-trodden footsteps of the town's rugby league club, who played 22 Challenge Cup finals at this famous stadium. The question is, can the likes of McManaman and Maloney write themselves into Wembley folklore in the same way as Ellery Hanley and Billy Boston? Well, the big surprise in the City team is the inclusion of Joe Hart for his first FA Cup tie since the final of 2011. In defence, Nastasic is preferred to Lescott. James Milner will feel unfortunate not to feature in midfield. Samir Nasri makes a 9th consecutive start, with Tevez providing support for the man whose goal decided the semi-final, Sergio Aguero.
And this is a very powerful Manchester City side. Wigan's got to be really on their game to stop Aguero and Tevez and Silva just coming in from behind.
Well, Wigan, like City, have spent the week trying to persuade the watching world that their understudy would play in goal, but it's not Al-Habsi, it's the borrowed Spaniard, Joel. 3 centre-backs include Alcaraz, patched up and pressed into service. James McCarthy plays as a wing-back, Roger Espinosa becoming the first Honduran to figure in the cup final, and Aruna Kone is flanked by the 2 semi-final goal scorers, McManaman and Maloney.
Well, we know what this front 3 are capable of, John, and McManaman and Maloney have got match winners on the day. Kone's really doing well in the Premier League, but it's up to Gomez and McCarthy in the middle of the park. They've got to be very, very disciplined today.
most disappointed man in the Manchester City squad would be James Milner to miss out after such a consistent season. And Gary Caldwell was pretty downcast in the tunnel at his inclusion only as a substitute. Well, a player from the Ivory Coast has scored in the last 4 finals. Wigan's peroxide predator Aruna Kone has the chance to extend that sequence. If not him, then maybe Yaya Toure, who scored City's winner against Stoke in the 2011 final. Contrary to expectation, we have 2 first-choice goalkeepers. Joe Hart's inclusion owing much to Costel Pan-Tillerman's insistence that he'll be leaving the club. Joel plays for Wigan, and that came as a nasty surprise to Ali Al-Habsi, who has arranged for 12 of his siblings to be here at the game. Well, the managers share a Christian name for the first time in a cup final since 1963, when Matt Busby faced Matt Gillies as Manchester United played Leicester. The final chapter of a script that began 9 months ago with 758 teams. Along the way, Luton Town deserve honourable mention, so too Oldham Athletic. Other teams like Dorchester and Chelmsford enjoyed days like never before, but now it boils down to this. Wigan's team cost £11 million. Manchester City have 11 players in their squad who individually cost more than that. The match referee on the perfect playing surface is Andre Mariner from Birmingham, who says he cried for 20 minutes when given the news that he would achieve a lifetime ambition. Just a little delay because a balloon has strayed onto the pitch on the far side. Emerson Boyce has gone across and popped it. The 132nd FA Cup final. Were Wigan to win, it would be the biggest shock since Wimbledon did for Liverpool a quarter of a century ago. No sooner had the sun appeared than it's disappeared. Wigan in their change kit all black. City in familiar light blue. The bookmakers have Manchester City as overwhelming odds-on favourites. Wigan, rated by some, odds as long as 8-1. Aguero. Zabaleta went on the overlap. Silva. Yaya Toure. Nastasic. Some company, part of the team that won 2 years ago, but he didn't lift the trophy. That honour went to Carlos Tevez. Toure. Silva. Expectation is for an attractive final. Here comes Zabaleta. And there's Silva. And it's cleared by Espinosa. Now they're challenging Nastasic, who didn't know quite where the ball had landed. Toure. Balloons need popping out there. Here's Clichy. Sami Nasri. A month ago it seemed unlikely he would play in the cup final. He's produced his best football of a patchy season. It's on the gas, he was clipped, it is a free kick, and we can finally get a first word from Chris Waddle.
Well, I think we're going to play, you can see the game plan, get behind the ball. Yes, the free kick, Aguero, like, so far in the game, John, they've been given far too much space, far too much time. Wigan's got to press the ball a lot higher up the field than what they are. It is a free kick, right on a dangerous position. And really, Wigan have just got to up the tempo, really. They're sort of very sluggish, too deep.
Potentially a first test for Joel, the Spanish goalkeeper, on loan from Atletico Madrid. Manchester City players have bagged hat-tricks against Wigan in the last 3 seasons. Aguero is one, Tevez the other. Aguero has positioned himself on the 6-yard line, behind the wall for the time being. And having been involved in the discussions, Yaya Touré is sent away by Carlos Tevez. Stage left for Tevez, and then Yaya Touré, and it's pushed away by a diving Joel, offside against Aguero on the follow-up.
They played the box very well there. We're going after the save, looked a bit edgy, the goalkeeper. But there's no way Carlos Tevez was going to get that one over the wall the way he runs up. He's not going to get that up and over, no chance. The wall does a good job. A little bit nervous, but as it comes back in, there's 2 or 3 offside as they hit that ball now. Aguero and a couple others offside, but Wigan, we know, are very good on the ball. I think they play their best when they play at 3 like they are today. But you've got to do the other side of the game as well, which is closing people down and trying to win it back.
Espinosa. Couldn't gather that in. This is David Silva. Two sides played as recently as 3.5 weeks ago in the Barclays Premier League, and only a very late goal by Carlos Tevez won a game at the Etihad for City. They played 3 centre-backs on that occasion, just as they're doing today. Pleasant surprise for Joe Hart to be playing.
We all thought it's like everywhere, he doesn't normally play, does he? And I've got to say, he must be absolutely devastated.
Significant, bearing in mind the morning newspaper headlines, that Mancini's name is being sung by the hordes of Manchester City supporters.
It's the same every year, John, isn't it? There's always some manager under scrutiny, and Mancini, I think, has done a great job there. It's very difficult to follow up winning the Premier League, it's been proven, so next year they'll be stronger again.
Speculation too over the future of Roberto Martinez. A modicum of difficulty. This is Tevez. No foul. Manchester City stayed last night at the Grove Hotel in leafy Hertfordshire. Wigan were rather more metropolitan, staying in an establishment on the edge of Regent's Park. The tapas is very good. Callum McManaman. Espinosa. Espinosa, the first Honduran to play in an FA Cup final. Alcaraz, the first Paraguayan. Plenty of Ivorians, Yaya Touré, Didier Drogba has stamped his name all over the FA Cup final in recent seasons. And City have 3 Argentines, one of them Aguero. Kone.
There's a lot of nerves out there, and Johnny can see the way players on the ball. Yes, the simple 5-10 yard pass is not a problem. Once there's a little bit of pressure on it, people are giving it away so cheaply.
Alcaraz stepping in. There's a doubt. Up until lunchtime today with a hamstring problem. Silva. Touré. too many options. There was only really McManaman offering himself. Kone. Now, McManaman with a chance. Checked onto his left and then steered it past the post, and what an opportunity that was.
What a fantastic bit of play. McManaman was the one who picks it up off a pass from Maloney, switches the play to Kone, and this is a great way to pass there. And Stasic thinks, can I get it? He does everything right apart from hitting the target. And you fancy him there as he comes onto his left, he's trying to place it inside the foot, uses the man, Stasic as his target to bend round, just slightly overhits it. What a good chance.
Here comes Zabaleta, he's flanked offside. It was a brave save anyway. Travers' follow-up would not have counted.
You've just got to watch the high line. Wigan there, you can see it's disciplined and they've worked on it. They just catch him. This is very close, by the way, look. And it's a good yard and a half, they did it right, but Espinosa just starts to follow them back in. As you see, the keeper very, very brave. Who didn't know it was offside?
Well, Wigan do have the most fragile defence in the Premier League. Ties. It's been a slightly different story. They've only conceded 4 in 9 knockout games this season. And just 2 goals in the FA Cup.
There's a foul on Nasri on Maloney. Nice little flick. Definitely free kick.
Ball players. Their football on the front foot.
Oh, got a lot of ball players. They're very clever. The way the movement, to get angles, very good. They open. Excellent first touch, and that's very important.
Aruna Kone.
Little spell this by Wigan, isn't it? McManaman had a great chance. Now they've got good possession high up the field.
Well, I already know they'll be playing Europa League football next season. Which division of the English League structure they'll be participating in. Delaying until Alcaraz made his arrival.
That's always the Jordi Gomez, isn't it? They've got the centre halves up and all set up for a good delivery. I think he'll be very pleased the way his team started. First couple of minutes he looked a little bit deep, a little bit sort of looking at what Man City had. Now they've come into the game, passing the ball around very, very well.
Detected an air of, shall we call it, supreme confidence in the Manchester City camp when they all arrived?
Yeah, I just thought, listen, everybody's talked about this game all week, John, and everybody's basically said City, 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 and rightly so. You know, they're an excellent side, and they beat Wigan twice this season, even though they've been good games. But you know, they probably thought, look, if somebody said at the start of the season Manchester City will get Wigan in the cup final, I think their players would be delighted. But we know the FA Cup's full of shocks.
Espinosa. This is Kone. Some company thought that should have been a City ball. choice defenders, including Lionel Figueroa, who's been a constant for them. Espinosa's playing his left wing back, is that Jean Beausejour is one of those stricken. James McCarthy. Kone. Espinosa prefers it on his left. Once it showed in that instant. Callum McManaman now. And it's steered behind by Clichy. This is a good spell for Wigan.
It's an excellent spell, John. They're absolutely full of confidence. The way they're passing that ball around, the first touch is great. A lot of movement. Maloney's not playing on this left-hand side. He's drifting in behind Kone. Hard to pick up. Always got a spare man available. City's got up the tempo.
Goes Shana. He's the one Wigan player who's played for the club in a major cup final before, the League Cup final in Cardiff 7 years ago when they were soundly beaten by Manchester United.
Well, the carry of threat, Shana's very good in the air. With City are a big, strong side defensively.
Espinosa. And Maloney. There's a half-hearted appeal for hands there against Nastasic. Here come Wigan again. Wow, should have been the case that here come Wigan again.
Excellent play again. The way they're switching the play with the wing-back stepping in. Maloney's causing so many problems. And if you look at City, they look rigid. Silva's already moved from his right-hand side. You want David Silva on the ball.
Movement from Aguero, who ran into Alcaraz, threw himself to the ground and then looks aggrieved in the direction of the referee. Tevez. Toure. Silva. Nasri. Uninspired from Manchester City so far.
No, it's one pace. It's one pace. There's no movement. It's the first time we've saw Nasri. He's looking for it. He just stands his ground. You're not going to get that.
Zabaleta. Telegraph ball by Yaya Toure.
His knee, comes off his thigh, Nastasic. That's not a handball to me, no. Referee can't give that. Look where his hands are, they're down by his side.
Silva. The balance from David Silva. No end product. Goes Kone. He's left company trailing in his wake. Kone. Maybe a little selfish. Gomez. Just feel that if Wigan are going to have a purple patch like this, they need to garnish it with a goal.
There's in first half, because I'm sure Mancini already will be thinking, you know, a few words, they've got to play quicker, there's got to be more movement from City.
Gomez was just on the back foot.
Yeah, apart from the opening couple of minutes where City looked very confident, it's been all Wigan on the ball. They've looked the brightest.
Silva. There's an angle there for Silva. And he could exploit.
I thought he should have shot. He's trying to roll Aguero in, and he really should have shot. Look, he comes inside, it opens up, he's got a great left foot, just pull the trigger.
McManaman. He didn't appreciate the slip, he then gave the ball to Mustasic.
Definitely just happening for City. I don't know whether they thought it was going to be an easy game, John, or not, but they just part of the opening 2-3 minutes where they look very confident and started bright. It's been all Wigan who've had the movement, who look as if they're enjoying having the football at the minute. City, no pace about them, very rigid, no movement, very easy to play against.
Strange old week for Wigan Athletic, twice behind but managing to beat West Brom, twice in front but still managing to lose against Swansea. It's awful defending in the midst of it. They won't deal in the predictable. Maloney, Espinosa. Maloney.
And again, the movement, and that's the difference. We know Wigan can pass a ball, but the options have gone in at the moment. Maloney's causing them a lot of problems. He's not playing on this left-hand side, which we thought he would. He's getting in the side, he's getting in little pockets off company inside Zabaleta, behind Torre. Very, very hard to pick up.
Silva. Mustasic. It's wildly optimistic. And the final chapter of this season's FA Cup with Budweiser. to headlines in many of the newspapers suggesting that he may not be long in the Manchester City job. And there's the decision maker. One of them on the right, Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, the chairman. Mansour, the ultimate overlord, hasn't been to watch his team this season, and he isn't here today. Manchester City struggling to get going, as we know they can, in the 2013 FA Cup final. It was Tevez, Samir Nasri. Yaya Toure, Wembley specialist. Zabaleta. The referee will bring that back for the foul.
Well, if you look at City, John, that just sums them up so far. They've had a lot of touches of the ball in certain areas. They've got options wide. They're all coming narrow. This is the free kick. It's the slightest touch Curry's give it. But they're all coming narrow. There's nobody wants to run behind it. Wigan are holding a high lane. So really, one of the midfield players, Nasri or Silva, should be taken off when Tory have it, and they can beat the offside trap. But at the minute, everybody just wants the ball at the feet, and it's very easy for Wigan to play against.
Well, there's more live FA Cup next season on ESPN and ITV. And to make sure you continue to get ESPN, visit espn.co.uk/next season for more details. Paul Shaw. Again.
They're very confident on the ball. They all know what they're doing going forward. They're enjoying to watch Wigan on the eye when they're playing like this. A little step over leaves company there. Good tracking by Gareth Barry.
Have you seen enough so far in the opening 26.5 minutes to suggest that this might be Wigan's day?
All I'm thinking, John, is I can't see City playing as bad second half. Now, for me, if Wigan don't take the advantage this half, then I think they may pay the price. Because I've got to say, City have just played one-paced, no movement, sloppy on the ball, and Wigan's been excellent.
It's offside against Callum McManaman. And to lift the FA Cup has afforded his career.
And he just goes a fraction early. Doesn't really need to go. He's very, very quick, McManaman.
Send-off from their hometown yesterday. Came to the northwest by train. Many of the 20,000 plus here today were at Wigan Northwestern railway station yesterday to send them on their way. Nasri. Still it's Sami Nasri. And now it's David Silva. And on the stretch it's Tevez. And the legs of the Spanish goalkeeper saved Wigan.
Well, this all come from, John, because it's the first time we saw somebody want to run behind. It was Nasri, because he runs a bit of skill, a wonderful pass here, and you fancy Tevez, but that is a great save. Going one way, he just sticks his right foot out.
Ball back in play. Nasri. Barry. Into the chest of Shana. There's much debate over which goalkeeper Wigan would deploy today. The general expectation was that Al-Habsi would play. Roberto Martinez surprised many observers by pumping for Joel, and that's been backed up. Here's Tevez.
That's a little bit greedy. He does at time. On many occasions you've seen Carlos Tevez play. Great player, but sometimes he can get his head up there and pick somebody out. Look at this, just take your time, you can have a touch. You're not going to score from that angle. This is the chance he's just had, and what a save this is by Joel. Just sticks his right foot there. What a save that is.
Well, every cup final save of note has to be compared to Jim Montgomery in 1973, so go on, compare and contrast.
I think Jim saved it with his hands.
He's only played twice for Atletico Madrid, his parent club. Sean Gota amongst the Manchester City supporters. From his home in Bermuda, especially. He's a star of one of the most dramatic games that Wembley has ever staged, the 1999 playoff final, Manchester City and Gillingham. I don't know as glamorous as this, but it was the start of the long road back for City. Nasri. Over to Emerson Boyce, and Wigan emerged with a goal kick.
Well, City are coming back into the game, not by pretty football in midfield, just by the strikers or a midfield player, Nasri. The last time was Aguero, just spinning into channels where there is space because they're playing three at the back, and you can't get down the side of the boxes, and that's how they've got in the last two occasions.
The 918th and last tie of this season's FA Cup competition, which began back on the 10th of August last year. As diverse as West Allotment Celtic, Burnby Nirvana, and Wigan Robin Park. Playing the stadium just outside Wigan's DW Arena. And part of the extra preliminary round. Nearly 90,000 here today, the smallest crowd in the FA Cup this season, 28. There's a game at Eccleshill United. It's the joy and the appeal and the tradition of the cup that all should be involved. There is Gomez whacking it against Company. Espinosa. Shana. Releasing Aguero. Kone. And even Yaya Touré's extendable limbs couldn't get there.
Well, City are just coming back into this game, John, because they're finding a bit more space. They're playing the ball forward a little bit earlier. There's a little bit more movement ahead of them players. For that, Aguero, well, the front four, if you want to call it the front four, were just rigid, never moved.
Quite a gathering in the Royal Box. Steve McLaren at the back. Trevor Brooking, hero of 1980. First time's winner against Arsenal. course, the England coach here too. Even if he's not, perhaps, paying the rapt attention that one might expect. Espinosa. And Espinosa behind Zabaleta, he goes down, Andre Mariner says no! Big Wigan appeal.
Well, my first impression, John, from where we are, yeah, I would say it was.
It's the first really serious question asked of Andre Mariner, who appeared well positioned to adjudicate. Silva. And certainly a heart-in-mouth moment for Manchester City. Zabaleta stretching. Clichy, lovely cushion pass. What a good piece of defending that was by Emerson Boyce. Not such a good clearance though. Tevez. Toure. Alcaraz. McManaman. Done very well, Callum McManaman. Now an angle, then it's blocked, then an angle again, and the shot cannoned into the back of the turning Zabaleta.
What an exciting player he is. That was excellent play. Just wish he'd got his head up at the end. Could he have passed it to Kone? This is great pace. This is composure. Doesn't panic. Look, even here now, everyone's saying hit it. Look at that. Can he get his head up? There's nobody we can lay off. He did the right thing.
Well, the England manager would have been impressed by that had he had his eyes open. Alcaraz. Sharma. The last 7 meetings between these sides have all gone Manchester City's way. And in all 7 of those games, Wigan have drawn a blank. Manchester City supporters finding their collective voice. This is Emerson Boyce. And we're winning it back for City. Toure. Tevez. Nasri to Clichy. And a block by James McArthur. Silva. Nasri. And Silva glanced the header.
City still carry that threat with the players they've got on the field, you know, top-class players. It's a very interesting game, what to say.
Now, how about that penalty shout?
Right, there we go. It's a lovely way to pass by Gomez. You know, he gets to say, he leans into Zabaleta there. Oh, it's his dive afterwards. He didn't catch him, did he? He leans across him. There, look, he maybe slightly catches right foot. It's that dive afterward makes the decision for the referee to say, no, you could have stayed on your feet.
In which case, shouldn't he have been booked?
Well, he should be, yeah.
big chance in the game. And one admirable save by Joel from Tevez. Toure. Now Maloney has blossomed as the season has progressed for Wigan. Kone loops up off Barry, loops kindly for Hart.
Movement's been excellent. Kone is very strong. He's linked the play very well, as has Maloney and Mark Manman. They need a performance from them from three. So far, they haven't put the ball in the back of the net, but they've done very well.
Tevez. Aguero. Tevez again. Zabaleta. Tevez, Zabaleta. It opens up for Zabaleta. Now it comes for Barry.
Well, if you're going to hit it, aim for that far post. Maybe that's what he was trying to do. He just couldn't get his foot around it. Great blocking tackle on Zabaleta. A little run here. Great tackle there. Block comes out to Barry. He can't open his leg up enough to get the ball wrapped around it. It's a comfortable save.
From a distance for kicking the ball away. Roberto Martinez, who prior to this season had never been beyond round 5 of the FA Cup. Already holds a place in the competition's history as the first Spanish player ever to score in the Cup. And his debut for Wigan at Runcorn. I could argue he deserves a glamorous occasion in the FA Cup because his first 3 goals in the competition came against Runcorn and Barrow.
Just come off for the last 5 minutes, John, and it's difficult when you're looking after the ball to keep that tempo up, like which they have. It probably just needs half-time now to recharge the batteries. I'm sure we'll see a different Man City second half. I think it'll be a lot quicker, a lot more movement.
David Silva. Tevez. City's 50th fixture of a season in which they've been comparatively lightly raced. Bearing in mind Chelsea played 67 games. Toure and offside against Clichy. And we're sort of meandering towards half-time now.
Yeah, I think players know, obviously, that's the referee. He doesn't need to go at all, Clichy. Look, you can see he's 2 yards before he's even kicked it. He should be looking along the lane. No need for that at all. But yeah, I think you start asking the referee and you see the scoreboard above you and you start thinking, right, no risk now, just keep hold of the ball and let's run the clock down, get ready for the second half.
Tevez. Clichy. Nasri. Silva. 1 more minute of regulation time and 1 beyond that, we're told. Clichy. Nasri. Still Samir Nasri.
And that's what he's good at. He's all right foot. He loves to come inside, and really the defender should know that and force him wide. Doesn't like using his left foot.
Espinosa. Now Jordi Gomez. McCarthy. By Shana. Fourth official, Anthony Taylor, ready with the board on the far side. And it is 1 additional minute from now.
It's not the announcement, that wasn't it? 1 added minute.
A little by the arrival of McCarthy.
Very good pressure on the ball, wasn't it?
Thoughts on the half overall, Chris?
I think Wigan's been good. I think you can't expect anything more from Wigan. I think they've passed it well. All right, the keeper's made 2 good saves. That's what he's there for. But football-wise, you've got to say Wigan look more relaxed, more movement, and really dominated the half. I think City played too slow. They haven't got enough movement, been too rigid. We've never seen anybody spinning behind and they play a high line, Wigan.
Wigan slick, Manchester City sluggish. Callum McManaman a live wire for the Latics. The best chance, though, fell to Carlos Tevez, whose shot was deflected away off the trailing leg of Wigan's excellent Spanish goalkeeper, Joel. Wigan, on balance, have had the better of it. They've certainly been the more adventurous, the easier on the eye. They've fulfilled their potential. Manchester City have come nowhere near in that particular department. And at half-time in the 132nd FA Cup final at Wembley Stadium, we still await the first goal.
Thanks to John Champion and Chris Waddle. Lots to discuss on the back of that first half. No goals, but the fact that Manchester City have really struggled to get going. Great day for the Wigan supporters, their first ever FA Cup final. Manchester City came here as the favourites, of course, but as it happens in the FA Cup, you never quite know. That's not quite the way it's shaping up so far. 0-0 at half-time.
You know,
It means the progress continues.
Absolutely, they win the cup so they win a trophy. But if they lose the cup and don't win a trophy, for me, it shouldn't make any difference.
Well, he's back out with Brian Kidd. Oh, wouldn't it have been great to be fly on the water in the dressing room?
Do you know what, Ray? I was watching the technical area, and when Martinez was out there from the offset, Mancini normally is, but he was sat in his seat, and sometimes, look at him, sometimes he's got a bit of an air of resignation about him, you know, that he almost knows he's under pressure.
I think Milner coming in is a significant thing as well, because I think they're trying to add more energy, more momentum to their team. I think they expected a different game, and now they realise they have to work harder to win the ball back first and foremost.
Absolutely.
Kevin, sometimes isn't it a good idea to go in, say what you say, and then get the way out of it, and in a way say to the players, hope the senior players and the players in there say, well, let them take a little bit of responsibility.
It's a great point you make, because in the really good teams, the great teams that I've ever played in, the manager can do so much, but the key is those 4 or 5 players who are the leaders. I'm thinking about Company, Toure, to say, hey, come on, what are you going to do?
Other side of the coin, they'll be wanting half-time to start now, won't they? They just want to get back on it and build.
Well, they didn't want it to come. They didn't want it to come in terms of the way they played. Their biggest worry is what Manchester City are going to do when they come out in the second half, but they have to take heart from the first half performance and say, let's do the same things.
Okay. Gut feeling, Jason. What's going to happen? Gut feeling.
City can't play as bad as they have today up to this point, but if Wigan continue to do what they're doing, they're going to cause Man City all sorts of problems, and maybe a goal could be forthcoming.
Do you know who Milner's come on for?
Don't know exactly what's going to happen otherwise, but I know you guys think it's a good idea. What's going to happen? Good feeling.
Well, I think City have got to play better. Yeah. I'd love Wigan to win, but I think City might.
I think when City make chances this time, they might put them away, which Wigan haven't in the first half.
Barnsley
City will have to turn it around.
Okay, here they come. Second half about to get underway. You know, cup finals of late have only been decided by one goal. What's going to happen today? Back to Chris Waddle and John Champion.
Well, all the way back at the start of the season, Manchester City had it in mind that they would be involved in a final at Wembley in May. This wasn't the one they had in mind. But they need to make the best of it. And one suspects that their manager needs to have delivered one of his finest pieces of half-time oratory if he's going to turn the tide here. Wigan, to a man, have carried out the orders of Roberto Martinez. Certainly a more effective team. And Manchester City failing to live up to their potential or indeed their pedigree. No change at this stage. Word from the Manchester City bench is that Milner is likely to appear maybe 4 or 5 minutes in.
I think John Hill have said, look, I think they've went mad at half-time, Mancini. I think the way he came out that change room and sat in that seat early, and he'll have said, I'll give you 10 minutes.
Well, there's Tevez, and that's Shana. Silva. Zabaleta. Espinosa was quickly upon him. Toure. Maloney. I wonder whether Mancini has specified who Milner would come on for, or whether they're all out there auditioning to be allowed to stay on. Milner is so versatile, he can pop up just about anywhere on the pitch. Could replace anyone by the centre-backs. Espinosa. Gomez, Kone, Callum McManaman, James McCarthy.
Well, again, confident build-up play by Wigan. Don't seem rushed. Everybody knows their jobs. Not the best shot, but as you've seen Milner warming up now, and as you say, John, it could be only 1 of 6 or 7.
And I'm interested in what you as an ex-pro said about Manchester City have to improve. Do we take it that Mancini has just gone into the dressing room and lost it with them? Has he just shouted at them, or is there something a bit more tactical and technical about it?
I think it's basics. I think haven't worked hard enough, haven't moved the ball quick enough. You've played it in Wigan's hands. This is not the Manchester City team what you used to see. And I think he'll have fired both barrels at them. And I think he's walked out and said, right, sort it out yourselves. And
Zabaleta. Manchester City trying to produce a response, trying to seize the initiative in this final. Yaya Toure, but the whistle has now gone for a free kick. A foul on Kone.
It's a tackle from behind, even though he may say he's played the ball within inside of his foot. Difficult for Andre Marina not to give.
Well, Wigan don't score too many. They certainly concede plenty. Manchester City haven't conceded a goal in their last 550 minutes of FA Cup football. With the one exception, Demba Ba in the semi-final. That's the one blemish on a string of FA Cup clean sheets. Here's Nasri.
That's good defending by McCullough. He saw Nasri first half, come inside every time. Now watch what he does this time. He's thinking, I'm going to push you down that lane. Look, he's not letting him come inside. Definitely that is his weaker foot left.
Should you have a weaker foot if you cost 24 million?
Yeah, but maybe the right foot cost 23.
Doesn't leave much for his head then.
I don't know. Listen, you don't know people train, John, but surely it wouldn't hurt him 20 minutes a day to go on out left foot and just cross balls and get confident with it. So if you do get pushed that side, he can still deliver.
Tevez, but dealt with by Espinosa. Tevez. Away from Shana. And there is Aguero. Well, it's a corner that's given.
Well, that's a risk they take at times, isn't it? They lose. Kone comes deep this time, loses possession. And Tevez, I mean, Shana for me should do a lot better there. And this is a dangerous ball. It's into the pack, it's hit hard and low. We've cleared it for the corner.
Milner continues to warm up on the far side. A threat to all those out there in light blue. Silva's kick. Behind by Shana. Silva once more. A deflected header. And a goal kick. Outside company.
Yeah, the keeper was no man's land there, wasn't he? That could have proved costly. It's good delivery, a lot of pace. Keeper comes, nowhere near it. Actually comes off company's back, I think. It comes off the goalkeeper, actually. So. Goal kick.
It's a day that many of the Wigan supporters present scarcely have ever believed would come around. Those longer in the tooth will have watched the side in the Lancashire combination, the Cheshire County League and the Northern Prem. Well, over 20,000 fans here today, more than a quarter of the population of the town. Espinosa. Sean Malone. And there's Barry adding weight at the back.
And Espinosa should have given it to Sean Malone a lot earlier, and he started doing his little step overs, but gives up a credit to Zabaleta. He read it very, very well.
Well, they're calling Milner back to the Manchester City bench. And off comes his bib. Diligence, the organisation, and on occasion the flair of Wigan, about to force Manchester City, the overwhelming favourites, to change it here. But this is Gael Clichy. City attacking the end where the majority of their followers are sighted. More than 30,000 of them. Nasri. It's Aguero. And we're told that Nasri is going to be the player who hasn't done enough to impress his manager. He is the one that's going to be replaced by Milner.
Well, it'll be interesting to see his body language when that number comes up.
Maloney. We're going to be called back. It's a free kick for Manchester City.
Is it a free kick? Yeah, it is. They've got the legs tangled, but the referee, you've got to give that.
Sameh Nasri is casting an anxious glance or two across towards the bench. And now he has the ball. It's a player who's not really delivered on his significant feat. Tevez. Toure. And Tevez. Here comes the change then, as we watch the replay of an overhead that went rather wrong.
He's never going to get that. It's worth a try, but overhit. You can't expect Tevez to get anything out of that. And there's it, change over.
Well, it's a slow walk by Nasri. Whereas you're never quite sure what you're going to get from the Frenchman. You always know precisely what James Milner will produce. Eight out of 10 every week. And number 8 out of the game. Maloney. Tevez. Silva. Time for Clichy. Milner. And out to Kone.
You'd say City is a slight improvement, wouldn't you, work-wise, and still lack of quality, which you expect more from.
Sean Maloney. James McArthur. Callum McManaman. Taking on Clichy. And winning a corner.
He's a great outlet on his right-hand side for Wigan, isn't he, McManaman? He's got terrific pace. Yeah, he's got skill as well. It's not just all about pace. He's given Clichy a hard time today. Look, slows it down, change of pace there. It's Company who comes across and gets the block.
Boyce, Alcaraz, Shana, all three central defenders are forward. Gomez. James McCarthy. There's Shana. Here's Espinosa. Here's Milner. McCarthy. Since the Second World War, only 3 teams playing in their first FA Cup final have won it. Last team to do it, Wimbledon, 25 years ago.
He's looking for the free kick. He's just basically run out of steam and his legs have gone beneath him. It's a throw in.
Silva. And again David Silva. And Aguero went down. Theatrically, it must be said that there was an outstretched leg from Shana. Whether he would have got to the ball's another matter. Referee unmoved by all penalty shouts so far. Jordi Gomez. It was Roberto Martinez's first signing when he took over at Wigan, having had him on loan at Swansea. Sean Maloney. Gomez. Espinosa begins a run and has to check. Wigan patient and considered.
Frustrates fans at times. Wigan fans are obviously very patient. They're used to seeing it. Here's the child, the penalty claim. Just overhits that there. He's offside anyway as the ball's played. No, he's backed into him. Yeah, he's trying to say his hands tripped him up, but he was offside anyway.
Silva. Milner. Manchester City corner kick. And we've seen Liam. Noel is here as well. Corner was short to Milner. Now it's Silva. Alcaraz with the nod down for McManaman. McCarthy's herring through the middle. And rather cynically, McManaman is taken down, and for the first time in this cup final, a yellow card.
Well, he had to. Coney made a great run down the right. McCarthy went down the middle, didn't he? McManaman just dropped his shoulder. Zabaleta's took one for the team there. He spotted the danger, and there you go. His arms out, he stopped him. Referee's got no option.
Playing a decent advantage. James Milner. Here's Zabaleta.
They've definitely improved City. I think they've got a better balance. Silva's drifting around a lot more now. He was too rigid first half. Good running off the ball, which we didn't see a lot of. Milner does well. Lovely weighted pass. And it's just hit a little bit too early and a little bit too hard. Nobody can judge when it's coming in. Silva's at that far post. Can he get there?
Well, Wigan have made history today by becoming the first club to play in the final of the top 4 cup competitions in England. Football League Trophy, League Cup, FA Cup, and 40 years ago this year, they're in the non-league blue ribbon event, the FA Trophy final. Lost to Scarborough here. They're going toe-to-toe with a side full of stellar footballing talents, even though they're not necessarily producing at that level. They do have a free kick.
Well, does he touch him? It's a high foot, Jordi Gomez. Does he pull it out? He hasn't touched Tevez. I don't think he catches him, does he? No, doesn't touch him. But it is a high foot, dangerous play.
Goal was all it took for Manchester City 2 years ago in the final. This against another side new to this occasion, Stoke City. Yaya Toure was the scorer that day. Silva. It's not happening for them at the moment.
It's not happening. I think they've slightly improved. Not a great deal, but they have slightly improved second half, and we've not seen as much as Wigan in possession going forward as we did first half. It's that quality in the final third. That's what it's all about.
Edin Dzeko sent to warm up. And we haven't had extra time in an FA Cup final for 6 years. Maloney. McCarthy. Aruna Kone. Maloney. Kone. Gomez.
It's good build-up plays, but everybody comes outside the area. It's Kone. Yeah, it's all nice little give and goes. Maloney, Kone, Gomez. Always looking for that extra pass.
Toure. Milner, clever, Ashana committed. And Gomez decisive in the tackle. There's more live FA Cup next season to enjoy on ESPN and ITV. And to make sure you continue to get ESPN, visit espn.co.uk/next season for more details. This is Callum McManaman. Sent Clichy to the floor. Hands up across. Retrieved by Kone. Roger Espinosa. Gomez. McManaman has another go. And still going! Goodness me, what a transformation in Callum McManaman. A few games in the first team. He looks like a world beater. Espinosa, Nastasic away.
I'll tell you what, John, when he starts making the right decisions at the right time, what a player he'll be. He goes past people, fantastic. And we haven't got many players like this in England, I've got to say, who can do things like this. It's just his final ball and final decision. That'll come with experience.
Still not started as many games as he's appeared in off the bench. Callum McManaman, just 22 years of age. I say at Wigan that his loan spell at Blackpool did him a great deal of good last season. But it's really since Christmas that he's emerged. Had some bad publicity along the way with that dreadful tackle. And that's been somewhat outweighed by the positive contributions he's made. 3 goals in this FA Cup run so far. Against Huddersfield, Everton and Millwall.
And I think that they know how to get the best out of him. They don't really ask him to track back. They've got a wing back, they've got an extra man at the back, and they basically say, look, we want you to have energy. When we get the ball to you, we want you to get at the full-back.
Jack Rodwell is the choice off the bench, despite the efforts of Dzeko to catch the eye of his manager. Rodwell, who was an unused substitute for Everton 4 years ago against Chelsea. Quick cartoon diagram. It's to Wigan's immense credit that it's Manchester City who are having to make changes to try and counter the problems that the Latics from Lancashire are causing. Crowd confirmed as 86,254. It's the smallest for a final at the new Wembley. And Silva. Watching on benevolently all the time from the Royal Box, Dave Whelan. As Manchester City opt to make their second substitution.
Substitution for Manchester City.
So looking to win the match, you take off a match winner and replace him with a midfield player.
Yeah, sometimes it's not working, and listen, Carlos Tevez will be disappointed, as is Nasri, but he could have took a lot of players off today. Man City players haven't performed as well as we know they can. Now, Aguero down the middle, David Silva in the hole, may cause more problems.
That's a foul given against Sergio Aguero.
And that obviously pushes on, there's the free kick. Both had it, but push, there's the nudge, what gets the free kick, and the referee has to give it. Rodwell's just sitting. So that allows Yaya Toure to push on a little bit more as well, which everybody said he's better further up the field.
Wigan in their first FA Cup final, acquitting themselves extremely well. Just for Wigan to be here, such a contrast to the majority of their experience in the FA Cup. It's actually their 100th tie as a professional club here. The favourite Wigan FA Cup story is of Harry Lyon, a record goal scorer who played against Doncaster in 1965, scored a goal, went off with what was a suspected broken leg on a stretcher, had 2 tops of whiskey and an aspirin at half-time, and returned and completed a second-half hat-trick with the suspected broken leg.
Sounds like one of Gazza's stories.
Toure, Rodwell. Here's Clichy. Silva. Clichy has a bit of time. There are 4 waiting, including Yaya Toure, Gareth Barry, James Milner. And that's the suspect area of Espinosa's game, the defensive part of it.
I've got to say he's played very well, but I agree with you, John. He's not an out-and-out defender. He doesn't need to sell himself, and it is a free kick. Look, he doesn't need to do that. Manchester City are a big side.
And this gives them a chance to load the big units into the Wigan penalty area. Yaya Toure. Matej Stasic. And some company. And Rodwell!
It's a decent delivery, wasn't a lot of pace on it. Rodwell hits the target, it's a little bit behind him.
Gomez. Maloney. The Wigan team who have to go again in 3 days' time at Arsenal in the Premier League. Not sure how much they'll fancy extra time, given the context in which this game's being played. Silva. Toure. Silva again. There was an untidy tackle there by Shana.
That's definitely worth a look at again, that.
Alcaraz. Kone. Espinosa. Maloney. McCarthy. McManaman. Good ball into. He's given Gareth Clichy a torrid time. Gomez.
You'd fancy Gomez here, his left foot on a great position, no pressure on the ball. Again, McManaman, if they can just get the ball out. James Milner's obviously still feeling effects of that challenge by Espinosa, but if they can keep getting the ball out to McManaman, he has got to beat the Clichy.
Wigan 8-1 at start of play to win this final. They're looking for someone in these late stages to step forward and be a latter-day Porterfield or Stokes, a Houchen or a Sanchez. As Manchester City are looking to make class tell. McManaman down. Challenge was by Nastasic. He'll be booked for that.
Well, this time he goes inside. And it is a yellow card. He's blocked him off. He's in the penalty area of the ball. There you go. Change of pace. The tip, he's going to go to the byline. That's another yellow card.
Paying rapt attention. A man whose own cup dream faded away painfully 53 years ago. Wigan holding out for a modern hero. Rain beginning to fall across Wembley Stadium. Maloney. Oh, off the top of the crossbar.
Well, I don't know if he meant that, but I thought he tried to put a lot of pace on a cross and he overhit it, but he got a new from the crowd behind that goal, the Wigan fans. Oh, it's hit the bar and just gone away, hasn't it? Joe Hart nowhere near that.
It's actually raining pretty steadily now. It was sunny not 15 minutes ago. Silva. It's Wigan supporters who are the louder. Clichy. Kone. Back by Rodwell to company. This was scripted as Manchester's weekend. City to win the Cup today, United to receive the League Championship tomorrow. Wigan, I suppose, technically a part of Manchester, Greater Manchester, but they pride themselves on their Lancashire roots. Silva. Toure. Aguero. Rodwell.
They're running out of ideas. They're passing it, they're looking to give it to Silva, he's giving it to Toure, then they're looking another way. It just doesn't seem to have that energy, what you say about City at times. They've been very flat today, very slow.
Why on earth would that be? Their league fate is determined. They will be runners-up. They will play in the Champions League. Here's Clichy. Fine clearance by Shana. Espinosa. Early ball for Callum McManaman. That should be Company's. Clichy. Toure. Rodwell wants it square. There's Milner. Rodwell. Clichy. Barry. Yaya Toure. And it's a corner.
Well, for all they've got a lot of ball, and Wigan have dropped off the pace. They've got deeper slightly. They look a little bit tired. They're not hurting Wigan. They're passing in front of them. Very easy to deal with. Not moving it quick enough.
Taken by Milner. And playing by Joel. And Ben Watson is about to come on for Wigan Athletic. Espinosa taking advantage of Zabaletta's slip. McManaman. Maloney. Aruna Kone. There may not be many chances, but this is a gripping second half. Who hopes to lift the cup in Manchester City. Here is the man who Wigan are introducing in the hope of spoiling Company's day. Jordi Gomez is the player going off.
He's done a good job in midfield. Very disciplined, used the ball well. He has got a good left foot, we know that. Watson will sit now in front of that back three.
Mitten there, the kit man. His uncle Charlie played in the 1948 FA Cup final for Manchester United. McManaman. This is McCarthy. McCarthy hit Maloney. First touch for Watson is a shot on goal, but the whistle had gone. Roberto Mancini has won the Italian Cup 10 times. 6 as a player, 4 as a manager. His breakthrough trophy was this cup in his managerial career in England. And if you believe some of the newspapers this morning, he needs to win this cup again to stay in his job. To believe the club's version, which is there's nothing in it.
I believe the club's version.
There is certainly a feeling within the corridors at Manchester City that Mancini's style is to manage via a degree of conflict, and that maybe that approach has a shelf life. But he's not a happy manager now. And here's Watson. Toure. Clichy. Emerson Boyce. The hallmark of genuinely good teams is that even when they don't play well, they manage to win games. But this is Wigan's chance with McManaman. Zabaleta coming in, already yellow carded. Zabaleta has been outstanding for Manchester City this season, albeit in a moderate campaign. But he was booked for a cynical foul in the first half. And he now becomes only the 3rd player in history to be sent off in an FA Cup final. And he's not so much angry with the referee as with his colleagues for letting him down.
Well, it was a sloppy ball by Gareth Barry across the field, wasn't it? And McManaman is very, very quick. He thought he'd got there, didn't he? And he's caught McManaman. And the rules are the rules. Now, would you say Company would get there? But the rules are the rules.
It was only a second yellow anyway, and for the foul, that's right. It wasn't the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. The referee, in a sense, didn't have to adjudicate on that. The second yellow was enough. Accompanied off by Brian Kidd. An ignominious end for Pablo Zabaleta after the season of his life. On what price Wigan now?
Well, this is a great range for Sean Maloney.
Rain dripping from his face. Wigan supporters' hands clasped in prayer. Sean Maloney beyond the angle of post and bar, and the agony continues.
Well, you just wish you could, for him and for Wigan, you just think, can he hit the target? Sean Maloney strikes it well enough, always going wide. Henry and Joe Hart always had it covered. The good thing for Manchester City is James Muller can fill in opposition.
Pablo Zabaleta joining Kevin Moran of Everton and Jose Antonio Reyes of Arsenal as the three players now to have been dismissed in the English Showpiece Cup final. Encouraging chorus of Blue Moon from the west end of Wembley Stadium. MacArthur. With the bookmakers, Manchester City, even down to 10 men, are still favourites. And Pablo Zabaleta's ire as he left the pitch was directed in particular at Gareth Barry for giving the ball away. Aruna Kone. Sean Maloney. And that's an untidy tackle by Gareth Barry, and he's going to go into the book.
Well, City are going to have to defend, go on the counter-attack, but they've got to keep the discipline. There's a foul. He's missed the ball. And Maloney goes down.
Joe Hart asking for 4 in his wall. And Wigan supporters beside themselves with tension, excitement, hope. Ben Watson with an uninspired free kick. Here's McManaman. McCarthy. Hoisted for Espinosa. It's Kone. Now it's Maloney. Sean Maloney whacking it against the captain Company.
I don't think there'll be a rush from City here.
To improve City's mood.
There's a free kick from Watson. Well, you could say handball by Barry, but he's got his hands across his chest. Very difficult to give that.
Teams who had a man sent off in the final before went on to win. Kevin Moran's Manchester United. And there's his Arsenal. Sharma to McCarthy. McManaman having another go at Clichy. And down he goes, and only a corner given. There were some hearts in some Manchester City mouth then.
Well, we know Clichy's very quick, but McManaman has really given him a torrid time today. Look, he's looking for it all the time. A little bit dramatic on the fall. Clichy's trying to hold him off, look, just trying to let him run it out. No pen.
Carnation's been well watered now. 3 minutes from now, Maloney. Great header, super goal! Ben Watson may well have won the cup for Wigan Athletic. Echoes of Lawrie Sanchez, a flicked header from the corner. And it could be the greatest cup final giant killing since that famous day with Wimbledon 25 years ago.
I've got to say, John, who's marking him? Manchester City are a massive side. You wouldn't say Wigan, yes, they've got a bit of hate on that side. You wouldn't put Ben Watson down as one of them to mark or a threat. It's a good delivery to the near post. And he's got a free header. He's just directed it onto the target of the goal. Joe Hart can't stop it, goes in the side net to the opposite post. Here it comes. Who's marking Ben Watson? Look, he's got a run. Nobody goes with him. It's just... it's such an easy goal. There's nobody actually goes with him. Jack Rodwell's standing watching. Watson gets a run on him. Joe Hart cannot stop it. Good pace on the delivery. Directs it on the target. What a time to score.
I cannot believe how similar that is to Lawrie Sanchez in '88. 53 years of hurt. And look at the reaction amongst the masses from Wigan. His 300th senior game, and Ben Watson has scored the goal of his life. Edin Dzeko is on for Manchester City. Wigan's first effort on target has brought what may be the winning goal. And it's down to the 10 men of Manchester City to reply in little more than a minute. Company. Silva can't get there. Tired leg, slippy pitch. And they're smiling already. What an extraordinary tale this would be.
I've got to say, John, you can't say they haven't deserved it. They've played very, very well from the opening, probably, what, third, fourth minute into the game. The keeper's done 2 good saves, and they've stifled Manchester City. They've got behind the ball, he has the goal again. Jack Rodwell's on his heels. Watson just gets across him, directs it onto the target. Look, there's nobody near him. He just directs it onto the target. The pace of the cross is good, and Joe Hart has no chance. What a time to score.
Well, while you were watching that replay, Joel has been booked for time wasting. "35 years ago, Wigan were a non-league team, used to playing Lancaster City, not Manchester City. When Dave Whelan took over, the average crowd was 1,500. Today, there are 500 million people watching this game around the world. We're at the discretion of the referee, on the brink of one of the great cup final upsets. All or nothing for Manchester City now. On by Dzeko. Company had the ball whipped off his toe. Out again by a gallant Wigan backline. James Milner. Espinosa puts it out. That might be enough. Wigan's Rugby League heroics about to be eclipsed by the team's football team. Here's Milner.
They've just got to get it in the box. They've got to get it in the box, Manchester City.
Whistle is poised with Andre Mariner. One last City attack. Dzeko with the header down. Sliced away by Espinosa. Andre Mariner blows the whistle. And the Latics from Lancashire become instant legends. Following in the footsteps of Sunderland and Southampton, of Coventry Wimbledon. It is the most thrilling and dramatic of cup final upsets. The 8-1 outsiders have beaten the overwhelming odds-on favourites in a day that will be relived forever. A team that may be heading for relegation, totally ecstatic. And the goal scorer, a ready-made hero, sent off the bench with 9 minutes to play. Mancini departs. How many more chances will he get with Manchester City? But this is about Wigan and about Watson and the similarities of his goal to that of Laurie Sanchez for Wimbledon that saw off the overwhelming favourites, Liverpool. Let's get out to the pitch and join Rebecca Lowe.
Emerson Boyce, you dreamt about this in Aylesbury as a boy in your park. Sum up. To have just won the FA Cup.
Unbelievable. Speechless. Dreams come true. Unbelievable. We came in the final not expecting to win, and oh my God. But to thank the manager and the chairman. Wow. That's what we've got to say is wow. Unbelievable. Winning the FA Cup is like a dream come true. Credit to all the players, everyone in the club. Fantastic achievement, and yeah, FA Cup winners. What can you say?
But you seem to be right at it from minute one today.
Yeah, the manager gave us confidence. He said we gave them a good game at their place, and why not come in and win? And that's what we believed in. And yeah, and we scored the goal. We had a couple of chances in the first half, which we should have took. So we can't say we're lucky. Fantastic achievement, and yeah, FA Cup winners. Dreams come true.
And just quickly, FA Cup winners, and surely now the confidence from this to take in to Premier League survivors as well.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we won this game today. Looking forward to Tuesday's game, and obviously a big one on Saturday. So we only can take confidence from this. And FA Cup winners, left in the middle, unbelievable, unbelievable.
Emerson, enjoy the moment.
Cheers.
A fabulous day for Emerson Boyce, his 500th senior appearance for the man from Aylesbury, who used to practice in his backyard, celebrating an FA Cup final winning goal. Let's hear from Paul Sharner now with Rebecca.
Paul, I know Wigan means a lot to you. You're here just on loan. Did you ever think you'd win the FA Cup final?
No, it's unbelievable. I won the cup in Austria, I won the cup in Norway, now I won the cup in England. It's tremendous, and I'm so grateful for the fans, for the chairman, for the gaffer, and for the whole team. It's unbelievable.
What does this mean to this club that you know so well, Paul?
Yeah, it's the next level. It's absolutely the next level. I think we handled the pressure quite well, we played well on the ball, and we scored the winner.
And to beat Manchester City as well, because you came into this game as serious underdogs. Did you think you could do it?
Yes, we always believed. We always believed.
Fantastic. Thanks, Paul. Hold on.
Ben Watson, do you realise what you've just done?
Not really. I gotta say, this man and them for 95 minutes today were outstanding. Fully deserved. I think we played Man City off the pitch, and to come on and score the winners, dream come true.
What went through your mind when that ball was approaching you?
I knew he was tired and he wouldn't be able to reach, so I had a gamble at the near post. Thankfully it come off.
Does this just sum up the most incredible of seasons for you? You had a broken leg. You might not even have been here.
It was a long 6 months. You know, worked hard, was around some good people that got me through them 6 months, and as I say, it's a dream come true.
Sean, I know you've won so many trophies with Celtic, but does this just top it all off at Wembley?
Considering obviously the size of our club, it's a massive achievement for us. It's incredible, and for Ben to score the winner, the year he's had, it's just an amazing story for him.
From the very first minute, you seemed to be so settled in this game. Nothing fazed the team, did it?
No, look, we knew they were going to have a large parts of possession, but we basically had to come to terms with that early doors, and our manager told us that, and with the game plan and the set pieces won it for us.
The manager, the tactics, it's been incredible all along. What he's done for this club.
It is, yeah. Look, it's tactically he's as good a manager, I think, as we could have asked for, particularly in this sort of situation, and yeah, I'm delighted for him.
And Ben, this is of course one of the biggest weeks for the club, but what a way to start it.
Yeah, it's a huge win, and you know we know we've got 2 more games in the league, and if we perform like that, we won't be far away. So, you know, we'll enjoy that and enjoy it for the rest of the day, and then, you know, we crack on again tomorrow.
You're going into Europe as cup winners. How does that sound?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Go and enjoy it, guys.
All right, cheers. Thank you.
The advantage is that they miss the first couple of rounds of the Europa League now. They go straight into the group stage in the middle of September rather than having to start playing at the beginning of August in the third qualifying round. But they won't even be thinking about that at the moment. Not after a triumph like this that has come in the very best traditions of the FA Cup, which has saved its biggest shock of the season until the last game of all. It's rained on Manchester City's parade. They will end the season potless, empty-handed. The Community Shield is all they've managed to secure this season. So many other potential trophies have slipped through their fingers. It may make the difference between Mancini staying and Mancini going. The goalkeeper, Joel, who made that astonishingly good first half save. Mancini and David Platt downcast. And Wigan looking skywards, thankful for what they may see as divine intervention in the 91st minute of this oh-so-dramatic cup final. Like Wimbledon, Wigan winners in their first appearance in the final. James McCarthy, one of their heroes with Darrell.
James, when you came down from Scotland to Wigan, did you ever imagine a day like this?
No, it's unbelievable, and it's an unbelievable achievement. And look at the fans, look what it means to the club, and I'm speechless, to be honest. And it's a dream come true. It's one of what you dream of as a kid.
What was the secret to this success today? The tactics, was it? What Roberto Martinez did? The way he sent you out?
I think the gaffer's, he's a tactical genius. He's brilliant. I've been here for a year with him, and I've learned so much under him, and it's a real honour to work underneath him. And it's down to his tactics that we came away with the cup today.
Callum McManaman just next to us there as well, but what a performance. Another young man, he's not fazed by anything either.
No, he's different class. You can see he goes at players, he runs at players all day. He was magnificent.
James, go and enjoy it. Well done.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Roberto. Just sum up, if you can, how this feels right now in front of your fans to win the cup final.
Well, it's incredible. We always speak about the FA Cup, is that chasing that dream, following that dream, and that's Wigan Athletic. It's been an incredible story, and today to win the FA Cup is a momentous moment. But more than anything is how we've done it. I thought the performance was magnificent. This group of players, they got an incredible sense of bravery, and they got an incredible belief, and the whole town they were behind us. They believed in us, and it's a very fitting moment to finish what has been an incredible attachment of our chairman in the FA Cup tournament.
And they look like they have the confidence from the very first minute today.
We never lack confidence. If anything, we lose games because we're brave, we're open, and we leave ourselves exposed at times, and we concede goals. But this group of players, they haven't got any other way of playing football than with bravery, with an incredible style, and I'm just so proud of them because they deserve that.
And just quickly, I know you need to go and celebrate with your fans, but tell me what this means to you, and also what you think it will mean to your chairman and owner.
Well, it's impossible to put into words, because that's why we're involved in football. That's why the whole football world chases that dream. When you are a young boy that you want to play football, you got the family supporting you all the way, and internally these players, they made the families proud. It's an incredible journey for each individual, and then everything comes together because of the vision of our chairman and someone that he puts the club together in '95 with that dream of playing the Premier League and winning a major trophy. It's just incredible. I've seen movies for less, and it will be an incredible script.
Roberto, you are an FA Cup final winner. Congratulations. Go and enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you.
Thanks.
Manchester City going up, defeated, yet still dignified. Mancini looks washed out. He looks glazed. As Paul Sharner, the Wigan folk hero, prepares to celebrate all night long. Of course, this is not a champagne occasion for Wigan, it's an Iron Brew occasion. Dave Whelan's manager, Roberto Martinez, well aware that 3 days from now they will fight for their Premier League lives across London at Arsenal. astonishing achievement by a manager of a club renowned for its careful husbandry, up against a leviathan of modern-day football in Manchester City. Wigan Athletic claiming their first major trophy, a non-league team until 1978. They dreamt of the FA Cup. Usually, for the greater part of their history, they went out of the FA Cup before the competition proper. Emerson Boyce, the 33-year-old from Aylesbury, 500 games in the bank, and now moments that he probably didn't even dream about. Representing a Lancashire mill town famous for its pier and for its pies, for Uncle Joe's mint balls, famed as the birthplace of George Formby, venue for the World Pie Eating Championship. More than a quarter of the town's population here to see one of Wigan's greatest ever moments. It used to be 39 steps. Dave Whelan hoped to get his hands on the cup in 1960. 53 years later, he finally gets there. So up the 107 Wembley steps they go. This gives hope to so many other clubs who are neither glamorous nor super rich, that near miracles can happen. Whatever the pundits might say, whatever the bookmakers might suggest. Smiling faces of players who took it to Manchester City, stood toe-to-toe, and somehow, with a stoppage-time goal, so reminiscent of Laurie Sanchez for Wimbledon 25 years ago, came out on top. Hugs, handshakes, and tears. David Bernstein, the former chairman of Manchester City, the outgoing chairman of the Football Association, going through the routine for the last time, but the result, anything but routine. Gary Caldwell, the regular skipper who was relegated to the bench today, it looks like he may play a part as well in the moment of ultimate celebration, the lifting of the cup. The triumph for Wigan's careful husbandry today over the outlandish expenditure of Manchester City. Emerson Boyce wipes his hands, and with Gary Caldwell lifts the FA Cup. It is a wonderful day for Wigan Athletic. Sportingly, company leads muted applause. And at the age of 76, Dave Whelan finally gets his taste of what it's like to win the FA Cup, a club he has sustained financially. He saved them effectively, and now he's built them up into a modern-day Premier League outfit, which will play in Europe next season. A favoured second team of so many people because of the way that they play their football. Still a family club, and one that will savour this in a way that Manchester City, had they won it in the midst of so many other recent successes, perhaps would not have done. Stony Manchester City faces. Remember, this Wigan team cost £11 million, and 11 Manchester City players individually cost more than that amount. Sean Maloney, Antolin Alcaraz, the first Paraguayan to play in and win an FA Cup final. An achievement that will go down in cup folklore. It'll be written about in the same chapter as victories for Sunderland, Southampton and Wimbledon. Ali Al-Habsi, the goalkeeper, who perhaps rather cruelly missed out, and the match winner, Ben Watson, who spent the majority of the season recovering from a broken leg. The Londoner from Camberwell, the emblematic player for the Lancashire Latics. And Roberto Martinez, only the second Spanish manager to win the cup after Rafael Benitez. Please don't let go, Roberto. Cup that has just been repaired after a A year in the custody of Chelsea. It took quite a while to iron out the blemishes and the dents, but make absolutely certain that Wigan will take the best possible care and custody of it. So used to seeing the red and white of Wigan's rugby league team going up to collect trophies at this famous venue. 16 times the Wigan Warriors and their predecessors have won the Rugby League Challenge Cup on this ground. But these are images that will last with us for months and years to come. They may be painful for Manchester City to watch as they end the season empty-handed. But for Wigan, these are defining images. And what a shot in the arm for the FA Cup as well. Ben Watson, their match winner, with an identical goal to that scored most famously by Lawrie Sanchez a quarter of a century ago. Dave Whelan has waited 53 years for this day. He and Wigan deserve it. It is truly a peerless day for Wigan Athletic.
It's the stuff that dreams are made of. It really just sums up the spirit, the romance, the magic of the FA Cup. Jason Roberts, Paul Jewell, with your Wigan connections, can you sum up the emotions you're experiencing?
It's just quite unbelievable, really, and I think we have to say from the outset that it was fully deserved. Sometimes when an underdog, you know, beats a so-called big club, which Manchester City are, it's the goalkeeper plays fantastically well. They get a bit of luck. They're by far the better team right from the first whistle.
Bit of class, bit of style. Manchester City give them a guard of honour, Jason.
Yeah, fair play to them. I think that's fantastic from their point of view. But the best team won, no doubt about that. It's a modern-day fairy tale. They played the better football. They won in the end. And I think, you know, Wigan means so much to me. So to watch this and see what they've done for Wigan Athletic to win the FA Cup, it's a story. When I turned up, I said I hope Wigan win. But do you believe that Wigan can beat Man City in the FA Cup final? Well, anyone who doesn't, they've got to believe now.
Kevin Keegan, the FA Cup just never lets you down.
No, congratulations to Wigan. They deserved it. This is not a fluke. We're not talking about a Man City team that hit the post, the bar, Wigan keeper making great saves. From the first whistle almost to the last, they were the better team today. They had the better plan, they had a better work rate, and in the end, they deserved to win this cup and lift the trophy.
John Barnes, this is inspirational for hundreds, thousands of football clubs to think that we can grow, we can have our day, we can win the FA Cup.
Absolutely, thoroughly deserved, and this is a victory for football also, because it shows that football is not just about spending millions of pounds and having superstar players. It's about playing with the right spirit, determination and attitude. And Manchester City in the first half, we thought this Manchester City team feels all they have to do is turn up. Second half slightly better, but Wigan, even in the second half, were the better side and a thoroughly deserved victory.
Paul, there'll be lots of Wigan fans at the end of the ground from where we're standing. They watch the team in the Northern Premier League, they fought for election into the Football League, then you get in the Football League, you make ground, you get into the top flight, you win the FA Cup.
Yeah. Well, we talk about fairy tales, but this is a proper fairy tale, it really is. And as you said, come from Northern Premier, right, to gates of hundreds, never mind thousands, to playing on the biggest stage in the world and getting the trophy is fantastic.
It's just truly representational of what can be done, what can be achieved. Spirit, belief,
absolutely,
the believers.
Absolutely, because you talk about multi-million-pound superstar players playing against Wigan, and the man of the match, who was the man of the match? McManaman. You know, how much did he cost? Where did he come from? A local boy from Liverpool. So every little kid now growing up in England dream, like, and say, I can be the next McManaman.
Wigan Athletic, congratulations, congratulations. Paul Sharner sobbing his heart out. An emotional day which he'll never ever forget for as long as he lives. And all the Wigan fans that are here today, and everyone back in Wigan watching at home, they will never forget this. Look, that represents what it's like, what it means to win the FA Cup.
That's what it's all about. And I think from their point of view, they took Man City on football-wise. It wasn't just the set piece. I know they'll show that over and over again, but they took them on football-wise, and those guys deserve to celebrate that in that manner.
That's the Wigan doctor, and he's going to be pressed into service later, because all these Wigan players are going to be absolutely high as kites. So it's a team that was playing in the bottom tier of English football in the 2 decades ago. It's overturned massive, massive odds. Wigan have won the FA Cup, the first trophy in the club's history. It's sensational for Wigan. It inspires a host of football clubs for what could be. Tell you what will be in regard to the Premier League. Wigan might get relegated. They'll get promoted perhaps again. It's unlikely they'll ever experience another day like this. Wigan Athletic FA Cup winners.
The 132nd FA Cup final. And now it's David Silva. And on the stretch it's Tevez. And the legs of the Spanish goalkeeper saved Wigan. And Espinosa behind Zabaleta. He goes down. Andre Mariner says no. Oh, off the top of the crossbar. Maloney. Great header, super goal! Ben Watson may well have won the cup for Wigan Athletic.
Dreams come true. Wigan Athletic supporters made their way to Wembley today, hoping that one of the greatest FA Cup shocks of all time would come to pass. The team played magnificently. Roberto Martinez has led Wigan Athletic to the FA Cup. Here's someone to hear from, Dave Whelan, the Wigan chairman, with Rebecca.
Well, Dave, we talked about the dream before the game. The dream has happened. Your club have won the FA Cup final. History's made.
The dream was absolutely spot on. We would beat Everton and beat Man City in the final 1-0. And just to see these people, look at that. For Wigan, it's absolutely fantastic.
Dave, can you believe this? At 18 years you've had this club. Can you believe this moment is happening?
No, you cannot. You never think this will happen. When I came here before and I was carried off, we lost that for Blackburn Rovers. Today we're taking that FA Cup back to Wigan. It is something absolutely special.
How emotional is it for you right now?
To say that, I cannot describe how I feel. I just feel so elated with our performance. We played well today. We've now got to stay in the Premier League, and that's the season done.
And what about your manager, the man that you've believed in for so many years?
It is wonderful. He's wonderful. He's Wigan Athletic through and through.
And just finally, you mentioned the Premier League. You've got to use this now, Dave, haven't you? Arsenal on Tuesday night.
Oh, we've got Arsenal and then Villa at home. We want 4 points. That's what we're looking for, 4 or 6 points. Hopefully we can get them and stay in the league.
Enjoy it, Dave. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, it would be a sensational double. Dave Whelan came here today hoping his team could pull off a shock. They've done it. So now they've won the cup. Can they stay up? Dave Whelan, the man that represents Wigan Athletic, they named the stadium after him. Paul Jules in the ESPN lineup today. This man epitomises everything about the town and Wigan Athletic.
Yeah, in a world of football where, you know, no disrespect to owners who are not from the area, it's wonderful to see a man who's, although he's born in Bradford, he doesn't like people to know that, but he was. But he was brought up in Wigan. He's a Wigan businessman and he's a Wigan supporter, and all his money, football money certainly, is as Wigan are where they are today because of Dave Whelan.
Jason Roberts, as Roberto Martinez gets the treatment, and boy does he deserve it. Look, he's got the trophy in his hand. It's just ecstatic for me. You're quite moved by this, aren't you, because of what this small club has managed to achieve, punching them above its weight against the odds.
Standing there with Paul Jewell, you realise you had a small part to play in what Wigan are all about today. And when you look at this, you speak about Dave Whelan, the drive and determination that he showed, the fact that he got this club and had a dream for them, wanted them to achieve something. And when he said we're going to get to the Premier League and win the FA Cup, I think nobody would believe him, but he made it happen. And I think for himself, Roberto Martinez and the rest of those players just take so much credit for what they've delivered today.
Kevin Keegan, win the cup and stay up. Why not now?
Well, before the game, we were talking about maybe losing the cup and going down. They've won the cup. They've got a massive game and a large task ahead of them. But look what they've done today. That will give them some inspiration, I'm sure.
And of course, the feeling today from Roberto Martinez, regardless whether they go up or stay down, would we be surprised if he stays there? You're talking about him going to Everton, but after a day like this, where you won the cup and you can see the Wigan fans, regardless whether they stay up or not, it wouldn't surprise me if he stays at Wigan.
Yeah, but absolutely, sort of what happens after today? It's today. It'll be remembered forever and ever and ever. No one's going to talk about it. That's the one that's going to go down in the record books. Wigan Athletic won the cup, beating Manchester City at Wembley against all the odds.
Well,
Well, I said as
going up and down divisions in the scale of things, win the cup.
Absolutely, I said as a player, what do you want to say to your grandkids? What do you want to say to your kids? You won the FA Cup, you got your medal to show to them, you got this day to show. How many players will get the opportunity to achieve something like this with a club like Wigan? Those players will be able to stand up and say that they've done this today, and that's something that will never leave them.
And you know what? Something else about sport, something else about the FA Cup. Other side of the coin, let's hear from Roberto Mancini.
Roberto, I know the emotions will still be raw, but where was that game lost today?
I think because we didn't play very well. We did our football. We didn't play our football. And after, because we conceded a goal in the last second, the last minute, and after it was difficult to score. But we had 3 incredible chances to score, and we didn't score.
Why do you think then your team didn't produce their best on the biggest day?
I don't know. I think that we didn't run a lot. And when I said before the game that it was difficult because against Wigan we had always problems because they play football. It's not a team that say too deep, play long ball, play football. Every time that we play against Wigan, they created to us a problem, and for this reason.
Did you sense you were having problems? Because even before they scored, you took a striker off Carlos Tevez and put Jack Rodwell on.
No, because we had a problem in the middle. Because Yaya was so tired, and I thought, okay, now I move Yaya in front and put Jack Rodwell in the middle. But we didn't have any problem after. We had a problem after Zaba sending off. After that, because there we did a mistake. We had the ball, we lost the ball, we considered counter-attack. After this, if not, we didn't have any problem.
How damaging a loss is this? For you and the club, Roberto, it means no silverware this season.
Well, you know, it was a difficult season because our target was to win Premier League, and we didn't win, but this is this can happen. It's impossible to win always. And after we had this chance to win another cup, we didn't win. It's difficult. This moment is difficult, it's clear.
You'll have seen the newspaper headlines, the back pages today. Another man's been linked with your job. Can I get your reaction to that?
You should talk with our club.
Well, have you spoken to them, the board?
No, I don't know.
So you have no assurances?
I don't know. I don't know nothing about this.
What's your gut instinct? Will you be here next season, Roberto?
Yeah.
And that's a definite from you?
No. We won't change nothing. We are disappointed for this defeat. We are disappointed for our supporters that were 40,000 people here, and we are very disappointed for them.
Roberto, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Well, listening to that, as the other side of the coin is Dave Whelan and Roberto Martinez sing and celebrate and parade with the FA Cup. We're at the wrong end, by the way, Kevin, aren't we? Because all the Wigan fans are way down there and they aren't going to go home for a long, long time, and they don't need to go on the train or the bus. They'll float back to Wigan. Let's talk more about Wigan and reflect on what's happening to Manchester City in a few moments' time. Because there's the trophy, and this is like another building block in Wigan's progression.
But this is a, you know, forget how you feel. Forget how you feel about if you're Man City, like I've been with Man City, so my allegiance is to them. Forget about that. This is fantastic for football. You know, that a club, you know, it tells you that a club with a spirit, which Wigan had today, a club that don't pay big wages, don't make massive money signings, can beat a team that does it. So it's got to happen sometimes. It's a shame it's happened to Man City from my point of view and all the fans we were stood around, but it's great for football.
For neutrals and people that will remember it forever, and a baby that's asleep, but the family will tell them, you were there on the day it happened, you were absolutely there. You know that word believe? Well, sometimes you just say, yeah, I believe we can do it. But, you know, to really believe that you might be able to overturn the odds.
Well, I think Jason said it before, we came in more than hope than anticipation. Well, I think the way Wigan started, after the first 2 minutes, the way they played, they believed they could win. Without a shadow of a doubt, they believed.
Be winners, Jason. But to be winners, you have to find something that maybe other people don't believe you have.
Listen, they believed it in there. I think it's easy. We turn up and they say, well, if Man City play their best, they can't compete with them. But those players, they believed, and from the outset, they attacked Man City as if they were the better footballing side. And I think that is the fearless sort of attitude they took into the game. And I think if Man City had won today, we said, yeah, Man City beat Wigan. But for Wigan to beat Man City at this occasion, I think we'll all remember this forever.
You can start off with the word belief in terms of it being an emotion and a thought, but then that has to translate to showing it. Yeah, so we can also we believe, but if you go out onto the field believing, but then you don't show it, Manchester City may have believed they would have won, but they didn't show it because they didn't play with the right attitude and spirit, and Wigan did, and that is why they won.
More reaction from Wembley to come. As far as the goal is concerned, the goal that won the match, that won the FA Cup for Wigan Athletic. Kevin, great near post header.
Yeah, I mean, the bookies must have had a great day. I mean, most people would have bet Man City, of course. And then Ben Watson to score the goal. He wasn't even on the pitch to start the game, score the winning goal.
It's a fantastic header, but a poor goal to concede. You can see there are two Wigan players in front of James Milner in the near post. That was bad defending. You can see he gets across the front post, a great header and a great leap, but really that's poor defending.
Doesn't it sum Manchester City up in a way today? They were just always this never quite on it.
We were all saying off air as well, when you start like Man City do, it's not easy football to start slowly and then suddenly like a tap try and turn something on. Yeah. You know, they started badly, they had a little spell, but Wigan always were the team that you thought their game plan, the way they wanted to play was happening out there. Man City, you just felt that there was something missing. You couldn't quite put your hand on it. You couldn't say they didn't try, but they were a little bit brain dead, really. You know, they never really got
one
their
chance
game.
in the game.
Yeah. One chance in 90 minutes.
You know, we did say where the game would be won and lost. If the front three of Wigan, and they defend well, and the front three can cause problems, that's how they'd win it, and that's what they did. The front three, Conan, McMahon and Maloney, were superb.
You know, I hear it sometimes about not letting the occasion pass by you. But McManaman, magnificent, right from the start, at him.
No fear, absolutely no fear. I mean, he caused them untold problems, and every time that Wigan attacked, they looked more likely to score. And he showed confidence, he showed strength, mental strength as well, physical strength a lot. I was so impressed with Wigan today, I can't tell you.
I thought he was the best player on the park by a street, because the way he played, his attitude, his desire. I mean, the attitude takes on different ways. For me, it was about the fact that he wanted to get past his defender every single time. You see him, he's driving, he's taking people on, he causes that, and that's just by working hard and getting on balls. And I think he was by far the best player on the pitch.
And you know, you listen to Mancini.
No respect for the opposition.
Of course, but Mancini said we didn't perform well, but they didn't even show any heart and fight. So you can't always perform well, but if you don't perform well, but you give it everything, then you can say fine. But they didn't even do that.
I thought the referee had a fantastic game as well. He never got any decision wrong. I mean, it was the controversial game. There's a few shouts for penalties,
especially from you.
But McManaman, he just did. It's like a breath of fresh air in the game. You know, when players are around a while, they don't run at anybody. But I kept seeing he kept going past people, and he kept feeling like he was going through them.
Cleety won't have been beaten up like that all season.
No. Absolutely. No, it reminded me of Michael Owen in the World Cup at 17 when he thought he should be doing this playing against great players. He's playing against the top players in the world, McManaman, and it was this, I'm not bothered, I'm just going to take him on.
Hey, you know it's been raining today. This is the team sheet. I thought it might be worth keeping, but it's not really going to survive, is it? OK, more reaction from Wembley to come. Wigan Athletic are the FA Cup winners, and we're hoping that the Wigan boss will be joining us very shortly. Once again, congratulations, Wigan. And it's the stuff that dreams are made of. Wigan Athletic and this year's FA Cup winners. Wonderful winners at Wembley today. They have the trophy, they're celebrating, and the celebrations will go on for another 2 or 3 months, I would imagine. Delighted that Roberto Martinez joined it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done, fantastic. Is it starting to sink in yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. And part of it is we want to hold everything until the next 2 games in the league.
Of course, yes.
You need to understand that staying in the Premier League is vital for us, because playing European football after winning the FA Cup is an incredible achievement, but you have to do that by staying in the Premier League.
Yeah, well done you for trying to have such balance at this time when everyone's been going crazy, but it's such a sensational victory. It's what the FA Cup's all about.
It is. I think we spoke before the game about if we deserve that, and the truth is that this group of players, they've been through everything, and they are brave. We always play in a very, very difficult way because we leave ourselves open, but it's as you say, I think it's the example of the FA Cup as a tournament, having that dream, chasing that dream, and doing it with Wigan Athletic is even a bigger achievement. Paul knows it well. We're a football club that started from nothing, just a vision from a man, from a football man, and to win the FA Cup is an incredible journey.
We crept into your dressing room, had a little bit of a look at some of the tactics you are going to employ today, and you can do all this, you can do all this, you can do this, or you can just score.
Well, I'm not sure who's done that. No, I thought today, from start to finish, we were a better side. And you'll have to defend, and you'll have to have a keeper that is right on a good moment, because you're playing against one of the best sides in the league. But I thought
we'd like to show you the goal that Wigan fans will look at for a million years.
Yes, we are not a set play team, but we work at certain aspects, and Ben Watson to come in is again another story of this FA Cup tournament, because remember, he broke his leg 4.5 months ago. At the beginning they told him that the season was over for him. He never believed in that, and he wanted to get back, and the way he's been working on a daily basis to be in Wembley to score the winner is a great example for the youngsters.
We're all talking now about this is the biggest shock in the FA for quite a while. The goal is very similar to one that was scored when Wimbledon beat Liverpool a while ago, which John Monk knows all about.
No, it's not.
It's sort of similar.
Sorry, John. No, I thought we were well aware that they're not shocks anymore, and I think it's because in the modern game now.
Look, the thing is, this man's won the FA Cup. He has to have an umbrella. You lot can all get wet.
Right. No matter what you talk about,
it doesn't you get wet.
You showed 2 goals there, but he looks as if he's got a bit of bling on there, and I don't know if you can see it at home, but what that actually says is believe. We talk about the belief and the desire you showed, and it's okay talking about it, but showing it. You showed that belief that you could actually do it in terms of the performance.
Yes, and I think that's a great point, John, because the second half, it was a very, very tough job, because you play well in the first half, you create 2 or 3 outstanding chances, and you have to score.
And you expect Man City to come back.
Yes, and to be able to have that patience and that composure in our second half performance, that was an incredible character from the.
I thought it was better than the first half, because with Man City coming forward, you retain that belief and that desire, and thoroughly deserved it. Fantastic.
Thank you, John.
I think in games like that, you don't want half time to come, because you think psychologically, you're never going to be able to pick it back up again. But truth be known, they've had one chance here today. Then the keeper made a great save with his legs, got it over the bar. But other than that, like you said, you were on top all the time, which was not expected, but a tremendous credit to your players, because they must have carried out your plans to perfection.
Yeah, I think we
didn't expect it, but it looks as the way you guys played, you expected it.
But we played Man City not long ago, probably 2.5 weeks ago, and it was exactly the same game.
You played really
and
well.
We had even better chances than today, and we couldn't finish the game off, and that was the reason why we had that belief, because we knew internally that we could compete eye to eye with a team like Manchester City, but to do it in a neutral ground at Wembley, knowing the meaning that he has, having the option to win a trophy, and knowing that Manchester City is their trophy to lose, it was even more difficult.
Roberto, after the Swansea defeat, you changed some pictures around. You thought about it. What was the thinking behind this?
Well, I don't think we did anything wrong against Swansea, and I think Swansea game is going to help us for the last game of the season against Aston Villa. We were phenomenal in the first half. Second half, we played with fear. We had even sometimes 8 players in the box defending 3 attackers, and we conceded a goal. And that's something that we had to change. And sometimes you need to undo partnerships and allow other players and look at them.
How are you going to stop them partying tonight?
Oh, believe me, I'll stop them.
You will concede it's going to be maybe slightly difficult to stop them partying, because the euphoria, the ecstasy of what you've achieved.
Yes, no, and you need to understand the players that you grow as a footballer to win a trophy like this.
And this is your day. This is a day you will never forget, I would imagine, forever and ever, and I guess sort of be able to look back at the images and the emotions will float out.